Hi everyone, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for visiting with me today. So today I'm going to do a look that was inspired by the show Hannibal, something I saw in that show. And I don't know if you're familiar with that show, but it's kind of gnarly, and this is kind of just inspired by something I saw on that show. I hope the lighting's okay. I had to turn this psychotic light over here off. I need to figure out what's up with that. So I made these, and right here I'll show you how I made them and kind of talk through it a little bit. Okay, so right here I start with a cast of my face. I will do a video on how to make a face cast someday soon, but there are really good videos out there on how to do it. I would recommend checking out Ellie Mac's channel. Now what I'm doing here is I'm using Model Magic dough. It's very lightweight, very pliable, very easy to work with. It's non-toxic, and I like to use it to make any kind of protrusions that I need more kind of lift with than with just latex or, cotton balls or tissue with latex. And I want this because I also want to put indentations or little holes in it to make it look more like a honeycomb or like a beehive. And I think I look kind of like Donald Trump right here. Not even trying to be mean, I'm just saying I think it kind of makes me look like Donald Trump, but it is an exact replica of my face. So that's my face shape. And so I'm just playing with the dough to lay it on the cast and just kind of position it the way I want and to get the general shape I want. And right up here at the top part, I decide I want that to go over my eye. So I add a little bit more clay at some point, and I just start shaping it until it's over my eye the way I want it to be. Now you want to be real careful if you do something like this, because you don't want to get any of the skin adhesive in or very close to your eye. Now that I have the dough positioned and shaped the general way I want it to be, I'm going through with the end of a pencil, and I don't need to use that eraser for anything, so I'm just using it to create my holes. I would have preferred a more like hexagonal shape, but you make do. So I'm just going ahead and doing the holes, and this does take me a little bit to get the holes in both pieces, and then as you're putting in holes, the clay spreads out a little bit, so I have to kind of cut those bits away. But as you can see, it's given it that nice little stippled effect. Now that I have it pretty much trimmed out and have my divots in place, or my little holes in place, I'm going to make a couple tiny little bees. And I'm making tiny little bee bodies I keep pulling away pieces of the dough because I want them to be kind of little but still noticeable. I'm only going to make a couple of them. And then I just kind of use my fingers and then use the pencil to indent to separate kind of the head from the body. And I don't even think this will show up in the final look, but I know it. So, and then I just fit it in a little hole, and we're going to paint those in a little bit. And I just go ahead and I make a couple more. Now with the bees placed, I'm going to go ahead and paint them. I've got this little mustard yellow. I'm going to use to paint the actual honeycomb or beehive with. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my paintbrush to dip it in water to kind of thin out that color, because I want to make it look as natural as possible. But I was really unhappy with the way it dried. It dried to way too bright of a yellow. I really wanted more of a mustardy yellow, and like the yellow it is now with a little bit of brown in it. I think if I would have added a little brown to that yellow and then a white color, like a white or a very, very pale neutral, I would have made it look a little more natural, but yeah, I didn't realize that until after it dried, so it was too late. I'm just roughly painting it right now, and I do about 2 coats of this paint. It dried really quickly, and the water really helped thin it out quite a bit. That is acrylic paint, just inexpensive acrylic paint. I imagine you could use pretty much any kind of paint with it. I wouldn't use an alcohol-based paint so much because I'm afraid that might thin out or damage the dough, because I am painting a dough before it dries. So the alcohol might affect the structural integrity of that. And then once I'm done painting the beehive, I can't talk, I apologize. I start painting the little bees, and I'm just painting them a brighter yellow because I want to try and make them stand out a little bit more. So I'm using a more sunshiny yellow. And as far as the bees go, they did kind of look the way I wanted them to, except that I couldn't figure out how to do little wings on them. And I tried to draw antennae, and it just kind of blended in at the end with the paint I used to fill in the holes, because I add some brown and black paint to the holes to give them some depth. And now I'm just dotting a little bit of brown paint inside all the little holes to make them look, like they're a little deeper. And yeah, once I get all those filled in, I finish painting the little bees' bodies with some black stripes and some little actually I think I did their antennas already. And then I just wait for it to dry for a few minutes. Okay, so see, it's very simple, and I didn't even let the clay dry all the way because I want to go ahead and get it on. Now, I know that there's some spots on it that are unpainted and stuff. We're going to cover that in touch-ups. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find me a pencil or something. We'll use some lip liner just so I can see where I need to put makeup. So this is for this part of the face. So I'm just gonna go kind of right here, just so I know this area right here needs to be clean for my latex or whatever adhesive you wanted to use there. I'm gonna use just some latex. And then this, oh wait, shoot, this was supposed to be on this side of the face so you can see the bee. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna be painting myself up as if I were dead, but let me try that again. See, I made little bees there, and I tried to make little antennae for them, but something like that. And then this is going to go over my eye, like that. But I'm not going to put any latex near my eye. Okay. There we go with that. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I think that I'm just going to, I don't have quite a pale enough foundation, so I'm just going to, on the part where there's going to be makeup, I'm just going to put this really light colored foundation I have here. And I just kind of want to keep it out of the area where I'm going to use adhesive, because it'll just help it be stickier. Okay. So now I'm just taking this palette right here, and I'm going to go in with this lighter gray, and I'm just going to use my finger because I want to give myself the look of, you know, and I'm really spreading it out thin, and I'll layer it if I need to, because I don't want to give a look of makeup. I want to give a look of, you know, quirpsiness, kind of a cold, not pleasant look, like certain YouTubers that shall go unnamed. Even the lips. No color because the blood has been pretty much drained. Really, it's the makeup effect was quite simple. I wish I had the right kind of contacts to use, though. Slap a blurred contact in there, but me and contacts, not exactly in the best of buds. All right. I know some of y'all might be cringing at the fact of me using my finger to do this, but it's just easier for right now. I'm gonna try something. Okay, so now I'm gonna pour a little bit of liquid latex out. And I'm gonna apply some to my piece I made here. Then we're gonna have to let this dry for a few minutes. I probably shouldn't have done this on a night before I have to get up early, but just hold that there for a few seconds. And the bees kind of built their hive like just on the body, not in the body, so it's going to extrude out. All right, now this one I'm going to be very careful with because we want to make sure we don't get any latex on or too close to the eye. Let me put a little bit on here. And these aren't very heavy, but you want to make sure that they're going to stick if this is a look you are going to wear out. But of course, as you know, I'm not going anywhere, so it's too late at night to be going anywhere. And I just let this get a little tacky before I put it on. I don't like the bright yellow. I think it dried too brightly. And also, if I was doing this like for a Halloween look or a costume party, I would have covered my eye with like a little eye patch that comes in first aid kits, the ones that are adhesed. I don't want to squish my bees. You know, some of that red is showing through, so I want to get that covered up. Now, I could have done it with gluing the appliances on first and then doing the makeup, but I thought it would be easier since I have to have one eye covered with the appliance on, and it's really not that comfortable of a feeling. I mean, it's not uncomfortable at all. I mean, it's bearable, but just kind of trying to fill that in with a little bit of makeup. There we go. Now, I can use some gel to make it drippy and shiny and honey-ish. All right. I'm gonna get Eric to check on this and I'll be right back. Okay, Eric and Marshall gave their seal of approval, so I will be happy with this. I do want to be really careful when removing it because I'm so proud of my teeny bees, even though they don't have wings and you can hardly see their antennas. But I want to be able to keep it, so. But anyway, that's it. This is really actually a very simple one to do. I did not wait for it to dry. But I knew it would be shaped right to my face because I shaped it on my life cast I made of my face. And I will be doing a video on how to do that soon. I just don't know when. Hopefully soon, because it is an undertaking to do that. So, let me
just want a little more sickness, even though I'm just a bee, not alive, but I just want a little more, just a little more right in there. So, all right. But anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm gonna do a voiceover for the application process. So, I mean, for the, not the application process, for the creation of these pieces. So hopefully I do a good job at it. I don't like doing voiceovers, but you know how it goes. You got to do what you got to do, right? So thank you so much. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, like, comment, do all the YouTube things, and I will talk to all of you later. Thanks so much. Bye. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Eric hates bees. He can work around alligators, snakes, anything. It's bees. Bees. They're evil, and they will chase you down. Alligators won't chase you generally. But I mean, they sure will get you if you're bothering them. So, also, there's that. So I was watching Shane Smith's stand-up routine, and he was talking about someone was in Florida and got an alligator and threw it in a Wendy's drive-through window. And I'm like, yep, that sounds like Florida. But he said, how messed up is it, or something along those lines, that we live someplace where Florida is connected to the United States and you can just find alligators. You can. I think they say something like, no matter where you're at in Florida, there's probably an alligator within 500 feet of you or something like that. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, I see them a lot. Just kind of, I mean, I've seen them crossing the highway before. One time I saw that, but yeah, they're everywhere. And they're not a problem. They don't attack you unless you mess with it first. And even then, it's still kind of whatever. They're really lazy. I mean, Eric runs into them almost every day when he's working. And they're not the problem. It's bees. But his are yellow jackets that are the problem for him. The ones that burrow underground. They make their hives underground. So, alrighty. Well, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I will talk to all of you later. Bye. I'll show you real quick how I remove this. I have a solution of alcohol and baby oil. The recommended removal method is isopropyl myristate, but it's very similar, and my skin isn't sensitive to it. And I'm being extra careful because I don't want to mess these up, because I want the clay and everything to dry all the way, and I want to be able to keep it. So I'm just getting under there and just kind of lifting it slowly and easily. And that's basically how I remove it. See, it's coming off. You just gotta take your time and not be rushed. Now, I know you've seen me yank the latex off before, which you really shouldn't do, and I've done it before, and that's ill-advised, and I know I shouldn't do things in my videos that aren't recommended for you to do, but I have done that before. But I really want to be careful with this, because like I said, I want to keep it. The clay wasn't all the way dry when I decided to do this, so we need to let this dry for about 2 days. So you can go in my facial appliance museum. And once it dries, I should be able to reuse it if I ever wanted to. Anyway, that's basically it for something like this. Because this is kind of big, you can just work around it. Now, if I'm using, like, just have latex on my face that I need to peel off, you just get it started, peel off a little bit, and just kind of start rubbing it on there and getting it off that way.